latest on Venezuela this morning, the U.S. has announced new sanctions on 6 vessels it says is carrying Venezuelan oil 1 day after seizing an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. So this country is calling Wednesday's oil tanker seizure blatant piracy, claiming this conflict has always been about controlling the country's vast oil reserves. The U.S. State Department has denied that oil played a central role in America's military presence in the region. For more on the tensions and what it potentially means for the Canadian oil sector, I'm joined this morning by Anthony Mediwake. He's a military and national security expert. Welcome.
Good morning.
With this latest escalation, what is your biggest concern?
Well, first of all, what does this mean for international rule of law? What is the justification for these seizures, for particularly attacking now 20 vessels that have been attacked and shot down, people killed without due process? Many experts see these as extrajudicial killings. What does this mean for international rule of law? These are major questions. And of course, where is this leading? Will there be actual military action towards targets in Venezuela itself? These are, I think, the questions that are right now.
And what about what the president had to say when asked if this would move off water and onto land? And he said he left the door open.
Well, this would again be another transgression of international rule of law, international order. This would be an attacking of a sovereign nation. I think this would be very bad for the U.S. reputation and also for allies working together with the United States, as this would be an unprecedented form of attack in this regard to Venezuela.
Anthony, I'm also curious about the seizure of this ship, which is piracy. So how does the U.S. get around that?
That's a good question. I mean, they're claiming that the ships are avoiding sanctions, and this might be true. We know there's the shadow fleet of ships that are bringing resources to Russia. So if there's any connection there, that might be some sort of justification. But at the end of the day, there's no due process here. This is not through international bodies. This is unilateral action by the United States, which sets a very bad precedent for other countries to do similar actions.
All right, let's talk about oil. Venezuela has the largest proven oil reserves on Earth. So how might the Venezuelan president appeal to OPEC and the U.S. to shape the international response to these actions?
Well, obviously, they're looking for help. The regime is under serious pressure from the United States. Most of the oil that Venezuela produces goes actually to China at this point. So there's that connection there. Obviously, the U.S. is interested in diversifying and getting cheaper resources, access to oil. So this will play a role, although the U.S. government is denying this at this point.
Is it possible we see China get involved?
Well, definitely China's interested in keeping access to this comparatively cheap oil. This will be yet another conflict directly with the United States in terms of access to very precious and important resources for the Chinese industry.
What is the message that U.S. President Trump is sending with this latest action? Not the seizure of the ship, but the comments around possible land entry and sanctions.
Well, we see this with a new national security strategy of the United States. It's really about dominance in the region, in South America, and particularly the Western Hemisphere. This, I think, is what's being introduced here. But at the end of the day, this is also, I believe, a distraction because there's no real justification that I can see from a national security perspective, both to attack those boats, those 20 vessels that we've seen. Yes, the U.S. has a serious problem with drugs entering the country, but unilaterally doing this, evading international law, this is not the way to go, and that sets a precedent, a very bad precedent for other countries to follow.
Which other countries?
Well, we know that other countries like Russia are interested in attacking vessels. We know that China has similar interests in the China Sea. So these are all challenges. We want international law to be upheld. We want particularly Western powers to uphold these values, and that's not what we're seeing from the United States in this regard.
Do you see any place for compromise here? I mean, the president has called the president of Venezuela a narco-terrorist. That does not sound like they're leaving any room for negotiation.
Absolutely, I agree. These rhetorics are unprecedented in terms of diplomatic consequences they have. It really seems that there is a massively aggressive posture from Trump towards Venezuela. And this really raises questions about if he's actually going to go as far as to attack targets on Venezuelan soil, which would be yet another red line to cross.
Anthony Mediwake, military and national security expert. Great to have you on with us just ahead of the weekend. Thanks for bringing us up to speed.
Thanks for having me.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.